Hey, what's up? So I'm here with Michelle Frederick. She's the owner of Impaled Tattoo. What we're doing today is I'm going to argue with Michelle about addiction being a disease. So I'm going to have Michelle read what disease is, just so we're all clear. This is good. She came prepared. I just looked at stuff on YouTube.
Disease. A disorder or structure of a function in a human, animal, or plant, especially one that produces specific signs or symptoms that affects a specific location. This is not simply a direct result of physical injury. A particular quality, habit, or disposition regarded as adversely affecting a person or group of people. So I think we're diseased.
All
You get a fist bump for that too?
And I'm going to start right off the bat, and I'm going to ask Michelle a question. Are you ready for this amazing question?
Throw it out.
My question to you. Why do people not have to argue that cancer is a disease?
Because it is chronically affecting people to the point of death on a regular basis in front of them. They've had many loved ones that have died of cancer, regardless if they've gotten cancer from smoking cigarettes, such as lung cancer, or possibly from whatever level of carcinogens they may have put in their body. Once you have lung cancer, nobody questions, do you have cancer because you smoke cigarettes?
But I didn't even say they smoke cigarettes. What if they just had cancer?
They may. What if they just happen to have addiction, but they never used a drug to know?
Ooh, that's a point I haven't heard before. That's interesting, and that's good stuff. See, I never thought about that. Like, what if they had addiction, but they didn't know? I don't know. That's a good question. So you say addiction's a disease. I bet you hate big pharma.
I don't have a lot of respect.
Yeah.
I feel like how a lot of things have gone. See, all day long when I was in addiction, actively using, I would argue with you why this is a problem to do with the government and how they have made it illegal. But you know, arguing for heroin has never helped me out. Heroin's never helped me out.
That's true.
So all day long I could say how we may have ended up here, but it doesn't matter, we're here. And you know, like a lot of people knowing they have, feeling they could come to me and ask me about addiction, I feel it's a disease and that it chronically affects me every day. I open their eyes to it and I teach them the science and maybe how to deal with this when they can't make that choice.
I think once you get to that point where you are addicted, then maybe I'll acquiesce. And let me know if I'm using it right. But I think once you get to that point, maybe then it can be considered a disease. But what if I were to say, and I don't necessarily have this, I kind of have a little bit of this attitude. What if I was to say, don't be a weak-minded pussy motherfucker and fucking don't ever touch the fucking heroin, ever, and you won't have to worry ever about being a motherfucking addict and or the disease. Is that, I mean...
3/4 change.
Yeah. I love it.
Except if you're that baby in utero.
Yeah.
Or that person that got addicted when they had an injury. Or
injury addiction, that's a good one. That's a good one, because if you have to take painkillers, then that's a scary thing. Okay.
You know, you're seeing the people who were never taught how to live right, who don't live right. And then we're like, it's just choices. Well, it is a lot of bad choices that have led to the level of disease and addiction I had.
Calling it a disease, one of my number one complaint is it puts people, in my opinion, in a victimhood mentality. Like, well, there's nothing I can do. It's out of my hands. I can't fucking... Like, no, motherfucker. It's not out of your hands. You know what I mean?
I've been in treatment, inpatient treatment enough times to know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah?
But how many people in real life have really come at you that way with it?
Just my dad.
Most of the people that I know when it comes down to it, like people like me who say it. So I say addiction is a disease for me, and when I was in active addiction, you wouldn't hear that out of me. But now it has cemented the idea that I just won't fuck with it.
Wait a sec, you're telling me that when you were actively using, you wouldn't classify it as a disease?
No.
Because you were in denial or something, or like what was your...
Because I was choosing to do what I did. And I didn't think it was a disposition for me to do it, and I thought I could control it.
Yeah.
Right? I was just a pussy. I should be able to do just a little bit like everybody else can do. Right? Everybody else can use a Tylenol 3 or 2 if they need it. I should be able to use 1 or 2 if I need it.
Yeah.
And while I'm always in pain, I always need it. So when I finally realized that I couldn't even use it when I needed it because I lost my fucking mind every time.
Yeah.
And I just realized I'm chemically affected. My brain is affected.
Right.
I have caused myself brain damage from drug use. And instantly, I want to go back there every time, no matter how great my life is going. That's when I called it the disease.
Yeah.
And that's when I said, maybe I don't have as much choice over this as I thought I could. Most of those people in treatment who say that, they say that to their families and parents. Because you can see a face in the community who is trying to do good things and does good things.
Yeah.
That's a face to it, not just the person who is a junkie who's robbing you, who you're thinking is making a million bad choices. I made them too.
Right.
A million bad choices that hurt a lot of my friends, family, and the people I love.
Let me ask you this question. This is an important question because I have a theory. It's a really brilliant theory. If you don't mind, tell me about the first time you did drugs and/or smoked weed.
The first time I smoked weed, I was 22 years old, and my whole life I've grown up around weed.
Yeah. Every single time somebody smokes weed, does drugs, even smokes cigarettes, they're with somebody else. I've never seen, I'm sure it happens in the history of life, but I have never seen anyone say, yeah, I just got myself a nice little bag or a bong or whatever. I went upstairs by myself and just smoked. It's always with somebody else. If you were to tell someone starting out, right, who is thinking about like starting with weed, which I think is a gateway drug, and I'll tell you why, and this is a whole other argument, this is about for, if you know people who smoke weed, you probably know somebody else who can get you some other shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a lifestyle that I've seen that like...
Do I think weed led me to heroin? You know, I don't think I should have tried that weed either. I'm an all or nothing person.
That's really interesting to hear you say that, because I know weed is so less potent or whatever. I'd rather be with somebody, hanging out with somebody on weed than heroin or whatever. If you made me do a drug, I'd rather do weed than heroin. So that's surprising to hear you say.
What about if they were on weed or were on a Percocet though, that they were prescribed?
Well, I'm assuming if they're on the Percocet, it's actually doing its job and going to the pain receptors or whatever.
Awesome.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just play when I work. What's the biggest thing you would tell someone? Like, they're like, dude, I'm just gonna try. My friends are doing a little bit of H. Do they call it H?
Yeah.
They're doing a little bit of H. It's not a big deal because I don't have an addictive personality or whatever. Biggest thing that you would tell someone with like, what's the biggest warning that you can tell people? Don't fucking try it, dude.
I mean, that's not the one to try. I would definitely check out what the long-term effects of anything before trying it are. And as a kid, most people aren't willing to really do that. But, you know, I've painted a pretty clear picture of the level of destruction my life has been, and a lot of people in addiction do. And we're not doing that because we don't want you to have fun or be cool or any of the things that go with that. It's just because we'd like to save people maybe some of the grief that we've been through. And there are steps to ending up with the chronic conditions that are addictions and, you know, the different levels of that. There's steps that bring you there. You don't try weed and the next day are on heroin usually. But you know, a lot of times when people are medicating with substances, maybe what I would suggest is going to a counselor.
Yeah.
Getting some help, and maybe they're not quite reaching with their family the right levels that they need to be able to spiritually grow and evolve.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times to start doing drugs, there's underlying problems, and it isn't always fun.
Right.
And once it becomes your stress response, you're fucked.
Michelle, tell me about Impaled. What are the hours and whatnot?
I have no hours.
Because you're here all the time.
No! You gotta get a hold of me. I got little babies and a family. So you can text me.
Yeah.
You can text me to get in, and the number's on Facebook. Or
And I'm going to put the number right there. Look at it. Isn't it so pretty? Nice. Good stuff. Okay, we're going to wrap it up with Michelle. I'm very glad she talked to me. And this is how it's supposed to be. We disagree with stuff. We don't even yell at each other or punch each other in the face, which is nice.
Well, that's because we're not on Facebook and we're actually looking at each other.
That's true. If it's Facebook, it'd be like, yeah, well, F you, and then
we gotta hate each other.
comment section just blows up.
Right.
So, all right. Thank you for talking to me. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.